We return to the summit's venue with our colleague Gladys Quesada, who is at the place, for the latest updates on today's Paramount Summit. Hello Gladys, welcome back.
Hello Luis, I'm so glad to be back to you and back to teleSUR English and also to From the South.
Hi Gladys, yes, what can you tell us about what's been going on in the afternoon session of Friday's summit?
Well, I think as we know and as we have been reporting, the day is coming to a close. It's coming to an end as many of the attendees have offered their remarks, their details and their works. And in this occasion, all the presidents and the heads of states as well as representatives have offered their remarks and they're coming to a close. They are working non-stop. We were saying that in a previous report and we are stressing that in this one. They are going non-stop until the 8 p.m., the time, local time here in Cuba, in Havana, because they are trying to wrap up on today the mainly sessions of debates and the mainly sessions of the remarks and the words. Also, they are going to have the official dinner, that is going to be the main activity of this evening. And it is expected that they will have this private event. And tomorrow they will continue with other remarks and the closing draft, the closing report of this summit.
Gladys, I've been following up the summit. There have been lots of talk of the importance, or it's right there on the theme of the summit, of technology, science and innovation. And people have been denouncing over and over the lack of equality in technology transfer and how South countries have more difficult. And this was seen during the pandemic, for example, with how all these big nations with big pharma capitalize on all the vaccines, and the South nations were at a disadvantage, and the different representatives have been calling for a better equality and for a better cooperation to achieve this and to put innovation, science and technology to the benefit of the people.
Yeah, technology transfer and the technology use is one of the main topics of the summit, as it is the main theme, science, technology and innovation. But it's so curious that you have this topic in mind, because technology transfer means that not only the North can find better ways to source energy that suits their new reality, also the global South. Let's think about the oil exploitation in the South, in Brazil. Let's think about the forest demise, the deforestation in Brazil also. And let's think about the big deserts and the big landscapes in other parts of South America that have been overly exploited. So in this case, technology transfer is one of the main topics because it is paramount for sustainable development and also for the nature protection and for the realities and the future of the resources and the material reality of Latin America and also the global South. But there is another topic because of the technology transfer. It's also a dual topic in this summit. For one side, many of the attendees are trying to find solutions to the technology transfer in equity and also inequality of conditions to assure that technology is not weaponized against the underdeveloped countries. But at the same time, they are going back to the roots. You were talking about David Choquehuanca, the vice president of Bolivia, but I remember also the president of Argentina, Alberto Fernandez, who were talking about this too. David Choquehuanca was referring to the artificial intelligence and how it's going to move aside the human work, and also how we, the peoples of the South, we have to look inside and to find the solutions in the indigenous and the ancestral knowledge. That's the same for Argentina. Alberto Fernandez was saying that it's paramount that Argentina and other South American and global South countries, anyway, find the ways to be sufficient in technology, to be independent in technology and sovereign in technology, to find ways that suit themselves in technology and not to be codependent of the developed nations. Also, as we were saying, this comes from two nations, and let's think about this. This comes from two nations that have an important and a paramount resource of nowadays. It's lithium. Argentina and Bolivia and Chile also, but we are referring to those two, have lithium reserves. So They are talking about one of the main resources for technology today and for technology in the future, but at the same time they are talking about how to take that in a good way, in a just way, in a fair way, for ecology, for the nature, for the peoples, and for the indigenous people that have been historically displaced and historically marginalized in the narratives and in the practices of technology and knowledge and the...
Gladys, I beg your pardon, but we have to go back to the summit where the representative of Belize is addressing the plenary, and we'll go back to you, okay? Let's go.
Okay. On behalf of the people and government of Belize.